Oh, good morning. Good morning. It's time for the variety show that is sweeping the nation in what ends up being our first international episode. The John and Dave Show is now coming to you live. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, without further ado, only the hopefully wearing a t-shirt, Mr. John
International.
Takeoff.
Yes. International. And I have notes. Look, I brought
You
stuff.
you have stuff.
Yeah, I have stuff.
Can you hear me? I thought I could hear in my earbud, and I can't hear a thing now.
I can hear you.
You can hear me fine?
Yeah, you sound great. You
All
sound
right,
great.
fine.
Yeah,
Earbuds
you're
are
good,
out.
dude. You're good. And I've got stuff. So international is awesome. Next time Canada, let's run the rack.
I'm
Run
here.
the rack.
You know what? I've never done a live variety program from Mexico, and yet here I am. Thanks for having me. Before we start, can we just acknowledge something? And I don't want to put
What's
you on
that?
the spot. I don't want you to make you feel weird, but you look fantastic today, man. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank
No,
you.
you're
I
welcome.
feel fantastic. I feel fantastic. It's been a good week. Right after this, I'm going to see my therapist. So like outside looking all right, inside gonna put some work in. So it's a
What's
good
your
week.
therapist's name?
Chip Dodd. Chip Dodd.
Chip, the
He
guy who
wrote the book I
that you
sent you.
sent me.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh
It's
man,
and
I
he's
brought it
an
with me.
hour
I have it
away.
with me
So
on the trip.
dude, it's so good. He's an hour away, so it's like I have the time to process on the way back. Like I need some decompress. Like I need some space to be like, whoa, wait a second,
Yeah.
let me.
No,
So
that's
you know,
genius.
it's
I've got a David. You've got a Chip. They're both
nice.
phenomenal humans. I've joked that I am one session at a time buying a boat for David, and it is the best boat I've ever financed.
Yeah, exactly. I tell that to my dentist. I'm like, which kid is going to college today? Like, what do we, like a
What are we
crown
doing?
broke. Yeah, crown broke. Who's getting a car? Let's go.
Can we
Let's go.
acknowledge also you celebrated 20 years of weddedness? I was going to say bliss, but I
Yeah.
know there was two, tough years in there somewhere.
Oh yeah, yeah, two. That's sweet of you to say two. Yeah, it was 90% A plus, 10% challenging. Yeah.
What are you going to do?
If my wife was here, she'd say, yeah. We were on an Instagram live, and somebody asked, how did she give me feedback when we were married early on? And she said, I didn't. He was too fragile. I was like, let me write that down. Too fragile.
And that's why Chip exists. It's perfect.
Exactly. That's why I'm in therapy. So
Bring it full circle, baby.
some amazing questions for you. I sent you one of them the other day. There's
Made me
7
laugh
questions.
out loud. Made me laugh out loud.
I love to do this. So I'm going to work my way up to that. But here's my first question. What's something you could eat the family size of? Like if you weren't careful, you're watching a movie, you got some Oreos, like you eat the entire thing and you look up and it's shareable. And you're like, I didn't share a single one of those with any other human. What's something you could eat? Like the family of Dave goes, oh no. Like what's your item?
Bacon. And that's not even a thing that they create family portions for. It doesn't matter. I was making breakfast for dinner the other night, and I got out 2 pounds. And I got out 2 pounds because I knew a pound was for the family and a pound was for me as I was cooking that bacon, because keep your hands off my bacon.
Have you had Benton's bacon?
I have not.
I'm going to send you the best bacon in the world. They ship. And when you open the box, you're going to just fall over. Like, I'm taking a note right now.
You know what's so
Dave's
funny?
bacon.
When I worked in the entertainment business, worked at Disney for some length of time, every Christmas, each exhibitor, the movie theater operators, they had a different Christmas gift that was connected to where their home base was, right? So AMC was based in St. Louis, somewhere in the Midwest, Kansas City. So the thing that you would get from them was a barbecue box. Made sense. Yep, sounds good.
Yep.
The people at a company called Marcus, they were based in Wisconsin. They send you a big old box of cheese. I one time had an exhibitor who had some association with bacon, and I was like, well, your deals, my sir, have just gotten better. Thank you very much.
Top of the list. Move them on up.
You want Star Wars? Fantastic.
Yeah. It's a wrap. Let's do it. Every time I go to Kansas City, I tweet, just landed in Kansas City. Where's the best place to get sushi? Just to see people go, you son of, like, it's barbecue. And like, I've done it probably 10 times and people still get so furious. So I think that's just a delightful thing, because then they get to argue a little bit. It's just barbecue arguing. So that's not bad. Bacon is yours. I'm sending you some Bentons. That's going to be delightful.
What's your answer?
I could crush a whole tube of Pringles salt and vinegar. Like, I could just keep going, like, just like, it's fine. Like, and like, I start eating one, but then I'm like, they crunch better when there's like 7 friends. Like when you have a family reunion of Pringles, that works better. And then like or like if I'm on a road trip and I get like peach gummy rings or something, like I have to physically throw the bag toward the back of the car because I'm driving. I'm like, hey, like I got them at a gas station, and I physically will throw it as far as so that I can't reach it. And that's a productivity hack for me. That's a gummy bear hack.
Heidi and I landed in Mexico, and we went into the store at the airport before we got in the car to drive to the hotel, and we separated, right? Like, okay, you'll go your way, find what you like. I'll go my way, find what I like. We'll meet at the front. We each got the tallest can of Pringles that they created on this planet. And I thought, you know what?
Sure.
Could be a sign.
Yeah, that's good.
Could be a sign.
That's good. If she had rolled up with Sun Chips, you got to be like, woo, I don't like Sun Chip.
I don't want the Sun Chip people coming at me, but I'll tell you what, I had a bad Sun Chip experience in 7th grade. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, no, I get it. Here's the second question. Favorite place you lived growing up? So before you became an adult, your favorite place you lived growing up?
Yep. So I have lived in California all but 2 years of my life. And and now I live in Texas, obviously, but I loved California. I love Texas. And yet there was this 2-year sojourn where my parents, for no good reason, 2nd grade to 5th grade, said, we're moving to Billings, Montana. And Billings, Montana, at the time where I was still able to come back when the streetlights come out at night kind of time, I'd put on my Army fatigues. We'd go to a place called the Gully, where literally people are being murdered in real time now. But back then, no one was getting murdered. You just went and played capture the flag all day in your camouflage fatigues, and you came back at night. And there was just like something about the outdoors, the people, the everything. I say that acknowledging that, man, I will never leave Texas. I just love Texas so much. It's amazing. But there was that like memory in having gone, when we were leaving, my goodness, I was like so angry at my parents. Why would you pull me out of this world that I know? And now I look back and it's one of the fondest memories I have as a kid. Dude,
I love that. Mine was Ipswich, Massachusetts, North Shore, Massachusetts. It was on the water. I could ride my bike to the beach, 1st grade through 3rd grade. And then when we moved to Central Mass, which is where I lived most of my life, I was like, what? Like, but the North Atlantic is right here and we have access to it. And now we're going to the middle of the state. What are you doing? So it's interesting. That's for both of us. If you're watching, throw yours in the comments. Where growing up, before you became an adult, before 18, favorite place you lived, time frame it was. I always think that's an interesting question. All right. This is my next question, third question. In a fight, who do you think would win? Clifford the Big Red Dog or the entire Paw Patrol? I don't know if you're familiar with their work, but there's a crew. So, like, I'm saying, for whatever reason, like, somebody's mouthed off to
Paw
Elizabeth.
Patrol. Oh, I know Paw Patrol. Don't worry.
Okay, so who's winning? Like, and they can use their stuff. Like, it's not like they use their tools. Clifford the Big Red Dog, Paw Patrol, who's winning?
This is the easiest question you've ever asked because obviously Clifford is a beast. I mean, unless one of the Paw Patrol people got a slingshot like David, they're not going to succeed. Period.
He's eating them like popcorn. I think we can. I mean, it's not a pretty picture.
Think of how big Clifford is. Have you read a Clifford book? Clifford is not a big dog. He is the biggest beast of an animal ever created. Yeah. Clifford every day.
Okay, good. I'm so glad you answered that because sometimes people say Paw Patrol and I'm like, that's a young man's answer. That is just a young man's answer who doesn't know Clifford. Like, you think he's this larger than normal dog? No, like he walks over houses.
Yeah.
Like, he's gigantic. Okay. Yeah. Good. Thank goodness. I'm so glad we're on the same page about that. This question, if you could nominate one celebrity to be on a stamp, who would it be? And don't say Mother Teresa. She probably already has her stamp. I mean, like, it's a musician. It's an athlete. It's a movie star. Like, who would you be like, you know who I'd like to see on a stamp? Like, I'd buy some of those stamps wherever they sell stamps. who'd you put on a stamp?
It's such a weird answer. Such a weird answer. I'll just acknowledge it up front. But my childhood hero was a guy named Mark McGuire. Mark McGuire,
Oh, yeah, of
baseball
course.
player.
Smash
Bash
Brothers.
brother. He and
Bash
Canseco.
Brothers. Bash Brothers.
I mean, forget about it.
Yeah.
And then, you know, like the run with Sammy Sosa, where he ends up hitting 70 home runs, like greatest summer of baseball in the history of time. And then steroids come and just take him down. And every single good thing about this memory of my childhood hero has now been tainted by the way that I'm wondering if maybe a stamp is the first step to maybe bringing him back. You know, just like
a
reclamation tour.
The redemption stamp set. Like,
what if you redemption stamp?
And there's a whole set of them, because who doesn't need that? Like, who doesn't need a second chance on a first envelope? I just wrote the whole brand, like a second chance on a first envelope.
Come on. You should be a writer.
I should do this more often. I love the idea of Mark McGuire.
John, can I real quick just show you what I'm looking at on the other side of my phone? It's going to feel a little bit strange, but I just, for 1 second, I'm just saying, I mean, what in the world? What in the world? What?
Hey, you are live right now.
It's our first in studio guest. That's all you
never know who's gonna pop by. You never know who's gonna pop by.
You never know who's gonna come in. Matt Damon may as well just be sitting inside the room waiting to come on out.
He had to get bumped. Heidi bumped Matt Damon. We'll get Matt Damon next
Unfortunately, we were going to have Matt Damon on. Heidi ended up coming by. What are you going to do?
I love it. I love it. Okay, this question I told you already, but I don't know your answer. Do you think we're putting too many things in mac and cheese these days? I was at a restaurant that had king crab mac and cheese the other day. Have we taken mac and cheese too far? Like, is it enough?
All right. Well, so my answer is so complicated, and it takes us into something that nobody's interested in at 10:43 a.m. Central Time, and that is irritable bowel syndrome and lactose intolerance. Because I have a really complicated relationship with mac and cheese, and so my answer is I'm going to need everything to offset the amount of mac or cheese in the mac and cheese for me to not have a stomach ache for 4 days. So if you can get bacon in my mac and cheese, if you can get just truly anything that's going to make me not feel like I'm going to die, I feel good. Yeah. There is no too far.
Dude, we get real on these. A lot of people don't know that. They're like, these are just playful. They get real, and they get real fast.
Don't they?
Chicken Alfredo, like, my wife is like, you can order that at a hotel. Like, don't ever, if say I'm at the Cheesecake Factory and I'm on page 800 of their menu and there's like chicken Alfredo, if I make eye contact with it, my stomach is like, hey man, whoa, hey.
Let's go to the bathroom.
Don't read that.
Let's go to the bathroom real quick. In and out, it'll be fine.
That is so funny. Dave, this is probably not good for our brand, but I think that's honest and I like it. Fair. I really like it. Okay, assessment. Next question, number 6. This is, okay. Do you like Christmas carolers? What's your take on Christmas caroling?
Ooh. Well, here's the thing. I mean, generally, strangers showing up at my door unannounced, that's a pass for me. That's a hard pass.
Yeah.
So if you're talking about neighborhood carolers, without having ahead of time let me know I'm coming by, I need a little front loading in my life for whoever's showing up at my door. And so that's going to be a touchy one for me, because I might accidentally shout them off the porch before they've started Hark the Herald Angels Sing. But I love Christmas music, and if there was a service of church that I am maybe most in love with, Easter morning is probably my favorite, but Christmas Eve is by far like the thing that I look forward to. Like, yes, let's risk burning this church down by handing everyone candles for Silent Night.
I love it. I don't want a flashlight. Like, give me the candle.
I do not want a flashlight. I want to risk burning a pew, but there's something about that kind of caroling that, man, I love. So
I love that, but I don't like Christmas carolers, because if somebody in real life walked up to you on the sidewalk and said, can I sing some songs to your face with no expectation of when I'll leave, you just have to stand there, I would go, no. That sounds terrible. So, I love the movie idea of it. I hate the reality of it.
By the way, if I knew up front, this is a great point, that it's a 2-song maximum, 1-song minimum. Great. Then come on and go ahead and sing. But when you get into like the 32nd minute of the 8th song, that's a hard no for me. No. I love these songs, but I can't feel imprisoned by your singing. I'm sorry.
No, we are so there. We are so there. Okay, what's the weirdest job you've ever had?
The weirdest job I've ever had. I've had some weird jobs, man. I mean, I was a yogurt server to start my illustrious career. That was a little bit weird, but it bought me a 1972 Ford Maverick for $400, so
Nice.
I can't complain about it.
Baller.
I had my third job at the Walt Disney Company was this technology that, like Mission Impossible, once you opened the disc, the packaging for this DVD, a chemical made it stop playing after 48 hours. It was a disposable DVD. And because of it trying to compete with, at the time, like Blockbuster, we were finding places where disposable convenience was a thing. And so I started selling these discs at Papa John's Pizza, at 7-Eleven. But the most random call I made and succeeded at was getting these discs into prisons. Because, you know, watch it one time and then, you know, turn it into a shiv. I'm not sure. Like, I don't know what
sharpen
exactly.
Sharpen it like a toothbrush.
Yeah.
For when you're out in the yard and somebody needs a little bit of, that is a weird job, especially the prison call. Mine was, I was a mailman. I was a mailman for a summer. I was terrible. I was the worst mailman. One day I switched up my routes. So I did the morning route in the afternoon and vice versa. And a lady said, "You're so much better than that other guy." And she was talking about me. She just didn't recognize it. And I was like, yeah, he sucks. He's terrible. I was the worst mailman. So
did you ever have a paper route? Oh
yeah, I did that too. I was terrible at that too. Like anything involving sequence and me being deliberate and detailed, they shouldn't hire me. They should just say like,
I had a paper route or route. Do you say route or route? I don't even know.
Paper route, route. We're going with route.
Whichever it is, I had it, and I remember how happy I was to get it. And that was one of those things, like a bad Christmas gift, where you're so excited Christmas morning, and then 2 days in, you're like, never going to do that again.
Don't want this. Quit
delivering all these papers that I have to roll up.
Yeah, that keep coming. They keep making news. Like every day, there's new news. Like that's what you don't know going in. Last question. Can you think of anyone cooler than a falconer? Like, so a person who is like, they train falcons.
Okay. Well, number one, I can't, but we were sitting next to the pool. So we were sitting next to the pool yesterday. Never seen this in my life. And there is a man, I believe they call him a falconer, though in Spanish it could be something else, walking around the pool area, falcon on arm, to shoo away the smaller birds that may try to infiltrate the area that we are sitting trying to get some sun.
Dude, we are wasting our lives. We are wasting that's a job?
That's a job. That guy woke up that morning and was like, you know what I got to go do? I got to walk around a pool with a bird on my arm. Yep.
Dude, it's funny you say that because I actually have a follow-up. When I worked at Bose, we had Canada geese, and they're the worst. I always want to tweet like, "Hey, Canada, your geese got out again. Please come get them." And we had a trained dog, and his only job, he lived with one of the janitors. His only job was he would kind of crouch up on him. He'd circle him. The goal was to circle him into a tight knot, and then he would back up and run as fast as he could. And you've never seen someone love their job so much. Like that dog was like, "This is a dream job.
This is it."
I can't believe there's a falconer at your resort. I was having a pretty good day. Now I'm pretty jealous. Like, remember when you're like, "Hey, you look good. Good week." I was like, it was a great week until the moment I discovered you currently have access to a falconer. Like,
I don't mean to
did they put that in the brochure? Was that in the resort brochure?
Didn't even advertise it. That's how this place rolls. Didn't even tell people, gentleman's going to be walking around with a falcon to make sure you don't have birds pooping on you. Man,
buried the lead. Buried the lead.
Absolutely.
Buried the lead. So, all right, Dave, this was awesome. I love these. We're going to keep doing these.
I love these too.
These are really fun. I've got 30 questions. We only did 7. So you do the math. There's more to come.
I feel like you're doing so much lifting for this show. That's why, by the way, I've changed it. It's not the Dave and John show. It's the John and Dave show. You are by far putting this team on your back. It really.
No, you're the host. We're in your building. I'm Ed McMahon in this story. You're Johnny. Like, let's be clear. Like, I'm showing him like, "Hey, Johnny, what about mac and cheese?" So, like, expect, again, there are 23 more. Heidi, it's always delightful to see you.
Oh, hey, Heidi, you're getting a shout out.
Am I here now?
Yeah, say hi.
Hi, John.
Yeah, it's always fun to see you.
Thank you. Good. I can't see you, but I know you're there.
I told Dave immediately, I was like, wait a second. I know Heidi. She was so kind to me. Like, it was a year ago we connected, or maybe 18 months ago. So
It was, yeah. It was during COVID, in the thick of COVID. I mean, we're still in COVID, but it was in the thick of the beginning.
It was awesome to hang out with you. So as soon as I was like, wait a second, I know her. It was so fun to send that text to Dave. So guys, have an awesome time in Mexico.
John, real quick, I do want to just tell you one thing, and I don't want to do this publicly like this because it might put you on the spot, but I am going to do a couple of other lives between next week's episode and this week's episode with people that aren't you. And I don't want you to feel bad about it. I'm
so glad you said that. I might too. Like, it turns out when you do dope stuff, other people want to do dope stuff too. So I can't help it that we're trendsetters. I can't help it that we created something magical and people want a little bit of the magic. So
it's not going to be the same format. I've got our boy Greg. He's got his next book.
Yep.
Effortless is coming out. So Greg and McCune are going to get on and have some conversation next week. I've got a great conversation that's going to be coming up with my friend Carlos Whitaker to have a conversation about all the things that are happening around this trial and all the things, just all the stuff around race and everything else.
Well, tell them I already covered mac and cheese. Like, if they need to know that.
Off the table.
It's already been covered.
Off the table.
It's already been covered. I'm so glad you said that because I was like, man, I'm going to do a bunch of these because they're fun. I wonder if I should tell Dave. That's amazing. Hey, it's an open. Hey, we're honest. We're putting it on the table. We're talking about it. Transparency.
Let's be clear. This is the gold standard, and other things will exist. They're just not going to be this. And I'm going to see you next Friday.
Yes. All right, guys. Enjoy Mexico.
All right.
Bye, John.
See you, brother.
Bye.